The ordinary sounds of a London afternoon were shattered when the housing officer's master key turned in the lock of apartment 23. As the door swung open on its creaking hinges, a scene from a nightmare unfolded before his disbelieving eyes. There, curled up on the sofa, as if taking an afternoon nap, lay the skeletal remains of a woman. The television still played to an empty room, its flickering glow the only movement in the stale air. Wrapped Christmas presents sat untouched nearby, their cheerful ribbons now coated in dust. The most shocking detail? This wasn't a crime scene frozen in time. It was the tragic endpoint of a disappearance that had gone unnoticed for 2 full years. This is the story of Joyce Carol Vincent, the woman the world forgot, and the haunting questions her death forces us to confront about modern society. Joyce's story begins not as a cautionary tale, but as one of promise and vibrancy. Those who knew her in her prime describe a woman who radiated life, stunningly beautiful, with a smile that could light up any room, intelligent and ambitious in her career at top financial firms, socially connected with a wide circle of friends that included celebrities and power players. She was the kind of person who made an impression, the sort of woman you'd remember meeting at a party. But beneath this glittering surface, Joyce carried private burdens that would gradually pull her away from the world she once thrived in. The slow unraveling of her life serves as a sobering reminder of how quickly someone can go from being the center of attention to completely invisible. The details of Joyce's disappearance, read like a script for a psychological thriller, made all the more disturbing because they're true. After leaving her job and withdrawing from social circles, Joyce moved into a sheltered housing complex in Wood Green, her final address and the place where she would spend her last days completely alone. She paid her rent in advance, eliminating the need for any landlord to check on her. Her television remained on constantly, the perpetual glow through the curtains convincing neighbors she was still occupying the space. Letters and bills piled up at her door, but in our digital age of paperless statements and online communication, such signs went unremarked. The very systems designed to keep people connected became the blind spots through which Joyce vanished without a trace. When authorities finally entered Joyce's apartment in December 2006, they stepped into a time capsule of abandonment. The scene they encountered was so mundane in its details, yet so profoundly disturbing in its implications. Joyce's skeletal remains rested peacefully on the sofa, surrounded by the ordinary artifacts of daily life interrupted. A cup of tea gone moldy, shopping bags still holding their purchases, those heartbreaking Christmas gifts never delivered. Forensic analysis suggested she had likely died from natural causes in late 2003 or early 2004, meaning her body had lain undiscovered through nearly 3 full cycles of seasons, holidays, and the relentless march of time outside her silent apartment. What makes Joyce's story so profoundly unsettling isn't just the physical facts of her death, but what it reveals about the fragility of human connection in our modern world. In an era where we're supposedly more connected than ever through social media and digital communication, how could someone so vibrant become so invisible? The answer lies in the quiet spaces between our interactions. The friend we assume is busy when they don't reply. The coworker who leaves a job and fades from memory. The family member we keep meaning to call but never quite find time for. Joyce didn't disappear in a single dramatic moment, but through 1,000 small withdrawals that went unnoticed until it was too late. The 2011 documentary Dreams of a Life by filmmaker Carol Morley brought Joyce's story to public consciousness, sparking difficult but necessary conversations about urban isolation and social responsibility. Through interviews with those who knew Joyce and painstaking reconstruction of her final years, the film forces viewers to confront uncomfortable truths about how we value human connection in contemporary society. Joyce's tragedy has led to tangible changes, including improved welfare check systems for vulnerable individuals, but the deeper lesson transcends policy reforms. Her story serves as a mirror, reflecting back our own complicity in the isolation of others, the times we've seen but chosen not to see, the absences we've noticed but failed to investigate. As you go about your day in this busy, distracted world, let Joyce Carol Vincent's story linger in your mind. Let it be the reason you reach out to that friend who's been quiet lately, the motivation to check in on the elderly neighbor you haven't seen in weeks, the reminder that real connection requires active participation rather than passive presence. In remembering Joyce, we honor not just her memory, but the humanity that binds us all together. The greatest tragedy of her story isn't that she died alone, it's that she didn't have to, and neither does anyone else in our lives if we choose to truly see one another. This is more than just a true crime story or urban legend. It's a wake-up call written in the dust of an abandoned apartment, a plea for awareness whispered through the silence of 2 lost years. Joyce Carol Vincent's legacy challenges each of us to do better, to be more present, to notice before it's too late. Because, in the end, the difference between being forgotten and being seen often comes down to something as simple as one person caring enough to ask, "Are you okay?" and truly waiting for the answer. The next time you walk down a busy street, take a moment to really look at the faces passing by. Somewhere among them might be another Joyce, someone the world is in danger of forgetting. Will you be the one who remembers? Will you be the one who sees? The choice, like the responsibility, belongs to all of us. Joyce's story doesn't have to repeat itself if we refuse to let invisibility be anyone's fate in a world that's more connected than ever, yet somehow still so terribly alone.